As Christians who want to know more about God and who he is, we have a responsibility to study his creation.
Have you seen the documentary? Because I was just thinking as we were talking about just how the earth works together, there's a documentary called The Biggest Little Farm. Have you seen that documentary?
Not yet. I have not seen it yet. I've had a lot of people tell me about it, so it's on our list. But because we're often out farming and homesteading all day long, sometimes when we have movie night, it's not we're looking for something a little different. So we still need to get to that one.
You maybe want something about like aliens or something, but not farming. Well, this documentary is absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite documentaries. If you guys haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon and I don't know where else. I'm sure all sorts of other places, but it's so fantastic because the whole documentary, it's beautifully done. The filming is amazing. And it's all about how creation works together, from the dirt to the animals. Everything works together, literally like a dance. It's amazing. The sad thing about the documentary is that the people who made the documentary are not Christians. They're not believers. And so they're not into like earth worship. It doesn't go that far by any means. But as I've watched it, I'm like, oh, I just want them to look at it. And just like I look at that flower with the little beautiful flowers inside of it. And I just look, I mean, that's something so small. And I see, how in the world can people look at that and not believe in a creator? I don't know how anyone can live on a farm and make a whole documentary about a farm and how it works together and not believe in the creator, right? I mean, it makes me sad. It really blows my mind. But yeah, I recommend watching the movie and then pull God's creation into it.
Oh yeah. We tend to believe what we want to believe. And obviously, without Christ, like we are blind. And it's so interesting to see. There's another documentary called The Gardener on Amazon about a beautiful garden up in Canada this guy planted. But one of my favorite parts that I mentioned to people on that is there's this lady describing the experience of being in this garden. And she's like, there's just a different level when you're in this garden. It's like, she's like, I'm not into God, or I don't believe anything like that. She said, but being there, it's almost like, and she said, I don't want to get all mystical, but it's like, it makes me want to believe that there is a creator and that all of this couldn't have just happened by chance. She's like, of course, that's ridiculous. But that's what it makes me want to feel when I'm in this place with all this beauty surrounding me. So it's funny how even people that are like, that's nonsense. It's still that's what it makes me want to believe, is that this is the handiwork of some amazing creator that made it all. And it is because, it is, you are without excuse when you see God's creation, and nobody will be able to say, I didn't know one day, when we go before him. But as Christians who want to know more about God and who he is, I think we have a responsibility to study his creation. And often the world is better at proclaiming the glory of God displayed in creation, like that documentary, than the church is, when we really should be the standard bearers of like saying, look at how awesome God's wisdom is in creation. Look how it displays his forgiveness and his abundance and his beauty and his diversity and his creativity and all that. But instead, we tend to kind of like leave that to other, basically to the enemy, which unfortunately, you can appreciate all that and still have a life that wasn't worth living because it wasn't about the Lord. And so we want to help bring that aspect as the church and be the ones that claim that.
Right. I mean, can you imagine going to an art museum and you were the artist and you have made this incredible piece of art, this painting that's beautiful and it's intricate and it has so much detail to it and it's just beautiful, and everyone stands in awe of this painting, and you're standing off to the side and you're waiting for people to just be like, oh, we want to meet you. We want to shake your hand. We cannot believe that the creator of this painting is actually standing right here. And instead, all these people are like, oh man, this is so amazing. And they never, ever give you a second look. And they know that, there was a creator, right? I mean, someone had to make it, but no one gives you the credit for it at all. I mean, maybe you're sitting there waiting to sign, copies of the print copies of your painting, and nobody really cares. I mean, that would hurt my feelings, right?
Yeah. Or if you're a creator of like tools, and you've made this amazing nail gun that pneumatically hammers nails, and instead you go in and you see these people that are using it and they're complaining about your workmanship.
Oh,
and your
yeah.
design, and you look at them and they're using the pneumatic nail gun to try to physically beat nails into a board, completely contrary to the way it was created, like designed to work.
Yeah.
And often that we do the same thing in creation as well. We fail to
Yeah.
really learn from and appreciate the amazing gift that the design is in creation, broken though it is. And then we end up spending the rest of the time trying to fix the problems that we created by ignoring the wisdom in the first place, you know?
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.